What if I told you there's a building so massive that calling it a shopping mall is almost an insult? Think about the largest mall you've ever walked through. Maybe your feet were aching after an hour. Maybe you felt like you'd covered some serious ground. Now imagine multiplying that by several times over until the far end of the building is so far away you genuinely can't see it. That's where we're going today. Somewhere in China, developers built something that completely redefined what a commercial space can be. Not just bigger, but smarter, wilder, and honestly more ambitious than almost anything we've seen before. We're talking horses on the roof, a ski slope inside the building, a roller coaster weaving through the upper floors, and enough space to feel more like a city than a shopping mall. This is the Wuhan Dream Plaza, and once you understand what's actually inside this place, you'll never look at a mall the same way again. Let's start with the numbers, because the scale here is genuinely hard to wrap your head around. The Wuhan Dream Plaza sits in the Wuchang district of Wuhan, China, and it covers 8.6 million square feet of commercial space, spread across 9 floors above ground and 4 more underground. Depending on how you measure it, it's often described as one of the largest shopping complexes ever built. One building, one address, a scale that is genuinely difficult to comprehend until you see it for yourself. But here's the thing that separates this from just being a really big box. The people who built this weren't just thinking about square footage. They were thinking about how an entire city neighborhood could function inside a single structure. And the first clue to that ambition is what's happening underneath your feet the moment you arrive. Forget parking lots. Forget circling a garage for 20 minutes trying to find a space. The Wuhan Dream Plaza was designed from the ground up as a transit hub. A nearby metro station connects directly to the underground levels of the complex. That means thousands of people can step off a train and walk straight into this place without ever touching the outside air. No car needed, no traffic, no frustration. You get off the subway and you're already inside. It's a fundamentally different philosophy from many traditional shopping centers around the world, where the assumption is often that you'll arrive by car and spend most of your visit moving between parking lots and storefronts. Here, the building and the city's transit grid are closely connected. Once you're inside, the first thing that hits you is the atrium. 9 stories of open vertical space rising above you, and hanging right in the center of that canyon is a colossal digital screen running ultra-high-definition content around the clock. This isn't a screen that's stuck to a wall somewhere. It's suspended in the heart of the building like a technological centerpiece, turning the entire atrium into an immersive media environment. The line between a retail space and an entertainment experience doesn't really exist here, and this screen is one of the clearest examples of that philosophy. Now, beyond the technology and the transit, something genuinely unexpected happens in this building during the morning hours. The wide-open corridors and rest areas on the upper floors fill up with grandparents pushing strollers, elderly neighbors gathered in clusters chatting, and groups of retirees practicing Tai Chi right there on the polished floor of a commercial atrium. In Chinese culture, grandparents carry a huge share of daily childcare responsibilities while parents are at work, and this complex has quietly become their destination. Climate-controlled, safe, spacious, and free. There's even a seating area designed like tiered stadium steps, positioned in front of massive windows overlooking a historic temple across the street. You can sit there for hours and nobody asks you to buy anything. It's one of those details that makes you stop and rethink what a public space is actually for. This building functions as a community center, a gathering point, a social infrastructure that happens to also have stores in it. That's a different approach from many traditional malls, where commercial activity tends to be the primary focus. Here, the building wants you to stay even if you spend nothing. But now let's get to the part that surprises almost everyone who visits. Because what's happening on the roof of this building is something you'd never expect to find on top of a shopping complex. There's a fully operational equestrian center up there. On top of a multi-story commercial complex, there are horses. Real ones. Professional stables with industrial cooling systems keeping the environment comfortable for the animals. Trained staff. Riding arenas. And programs for children learning to ride. The weight distribution requirements for something like this are extraordinary. Horses are heavy. Water storage for an equestrian facility is heavy. The infrastructure needed to keep animals healthy on top of a building of this scale is genuinely complex engineering. But they didn't stop at horses. They also dedicated 540,000 square feet of indoor space to an aviation-themed amusement park that includes a suspended roller coaster threading through the upper structure of the building. And if that's not enough, there's a fully functional indoor ski slope using advanced refrigeration systems to maintain real snow year-round. Inside a building, in Wuhan, you can go skiing without leaving the mall. When you step back and look at all of this together, a pattern becomes really clear. This isn't a mall that's trying to survive the rise of online shopping by offering more stores. It's a destination that has made itself irreplaceable because no algorithm can deliver what's actually inside. You cannot order a horse ride on your phone. You cannot stream the experience of skiing indoors in the summer. You cannot recreate the social energy of thousands of people from different generations sharing an enormous, beautifully designed space. That's the survival strategy, and it's working. Around the world, many traditional malls have struggled as online shopping continues to grow. Some adapted, some reinvented themselves, and others simply faded away. What Wuhan Dream Plaza represents is one particularly ambitious answer to that challenge. Instead of competing with the internet, it built something the internet literally cannot replace. And the lesson here isn't just about shopping. It's about what happens when you stop thinking about a building as a container for commerce and start thinking about it as a piece of city infrastructure. A place where transit flows in, communities form, generations mix, and engineering goes places nobody thought it could. This place isn't remarkable simply because of its size. It's remarkable because of what it tries to be. A shopping center, a transit hub, an entertainment destination, a community gathering place, and in some ways a small city under a single roof. And that raises an interesting question. Is this the future of shopping, or has it gone completely over the top? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe for more stories about the technologies reshaping our world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.